after that, because I didn't realize it was closed, I made my way to Glandal Donuts on Saturday morning around 8 a.m. And when I got there, I got a donut, I got some coffee, and I unfortunately witnessed the murder, well, what I perceive to be potentially the murder of Alex Preddy. It was, again, as a military veteran, having been trained in counterinsurgency and detainee operations, it looked extremely, the man, Alex, was not resisting. He was clearly, he had about 6 or 7 agents on top of him, and to me it seemed clear that this was not justified by any, military doctrine or anything like that. And I continue to be astounded by the amount of resistance that I'm seeing in the streets in the wake of that event. I personally have been uplifted by the resistance, by seeing 10,000 people on Sunday coming out in the streets to witness both the site of the murder on the day of, on Saturday night, but also to pay tribute and decide that we're going to fight back on Sunday. And I want to talk a little bit again, because I spoke earlier about it on Sunday, about what I think the solution to the death of Alex Preddy and Renee Good, and I think what they would want us to do. We, Minnesota, on Friday, showed up in 100,000 plus people in the streets, and possibly many more, fighting back against this ICE, CBP, Customs and Border Patrol terror. And we showed up. Right? We showed up. We didn't go to work. We didn't go to school. We flexed that power. And that means that we need to continue flexing that power. Right? So we have, over the weekend, as soon as the event happened, as soon as Alex Preddy was shot 6 or 7 times and was later declared killed, Alex Preddy, a man who also treated many, many veterans and also trained many, many nurses on how to treat those veterans, we as veterans must have a duty to stand up, because this is one of our fellow, government workers, one of our fellow humans that are resisting against this ICE terror. And we can't stand by idly, right? We need to follow in the example of the labor unions who are most affected by, who represent those workers who are most affected by this terror. We need to follow that example, and when the labor unions like SCIU, Local 26, Unite Here, Local 17, when they called for that strike that happened last Friday on January 23rd, the people stood up and answered. And now, with Black student groups and with Somali student groups at the U of M calling for the same thing, we need to answer that call. It is time to strike again. So let's get in those streets. Let's show the world